Inimba Recap, The Reckoning Episode 114. YouTube Recap Script, approximate 3,000 words. Intro. Yo, what is up, family? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Guy bringing you the recap you've been waiting for all day, because listen, today's episode of Inimba was not playing around. If you're new here, welcome. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell, because we do this every single day. Mzansi Magic drops the episode, and I break it down for you scene by scene, with all my thoughts, all my screaming, all my "no, this man did not just say that" moments. Okay. So quick recap of where we left off, because we need context before we dive in. Zethu has been going through it. Her baby shower turned into an absolute nightmare. 1 minute everyone's celebrating, next minute she's fighting for her life. And then yesterday, too soon happens, and Wandel drops a truth bomb that has Sydney questioning literally everything he thought he knew about his own family. Meanwhile, Lazarus and Zolika are sitting pretty at the top of the Ndukona empire, feeling untouchable, and we all know what happens on this show when people start feeling untouchable. It never lasts. Never. So today's episode picks up literally seconds after that gut punch ending. I need you to buckle up because this one moves fast. Let's get into it. Scene 1, the hospital corridor. We open exactly where we left off, that hospital corridor, harsh fluorescent lighting, and Sydney is just standing there frozen after what Wandel told him. And can we talk about the acting here? Because the way this man's face just crumbles. No dialogue for like 10 straight seconds, just him staring into space processing what he just heard. That's when you know the actor is doing the most, and I am here for it. Hlenja rushes up to him, obviously she can see something's wrong, and she's asking him what happened, what did Wandel say? And Sydney, bless him, he can't even get the words out. He just keeps shaking his head, saying you wouldn't believe me if I told you, which, come on, sir, we need you to tell us, that's literally why we're here. Meanwhile, and this is the part that had me sitting up straight, through the glass doors of the ward, we can see Zethu's monitor. Something's beeping. Not the good kind of beeping either, the oh no kind of beeping. A nurse rushes in. And the episode does this classic Inimba thing where it cuts away right at the tensest possible second. I was yelling at my screen. Genuinely yelling. Scene 2, the Ndukona house. Okay, complete change of energy now. We cut to the Ndukona house, and Lazarus and Zolika are having what looks like a celebratory breakfast. Champagne glasses, the whole thing. They are toasting to their new chapter, and honestly, the confidence on these two right now is almost funny, because if you've watched this show for more than a week, you know confidence like that is basically an invitation for the universe to humble you. Zolika's going on about how everything is finally coming together, the business deal, the family finally at peace, all of that, and Lazarus is just soaking it in, looking genuinely happy for maybe the first time in weeks. And I'm sitting here like, enjoy this moment, because I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all. Then, and this is where it gets interesting, there's a knock at the door. Now remember, a couple of days ago we had that unexpected visitor with unfinished business show up during Azander's homecoming celebration. Well, guess who's back? It's him. Same guy. And the second Zolika opens that door and sees his face, her whole demeanor changes. Like someone flipped a switch. The champagne mood is gone. He doesn't even really explain himself right away. That's the frustrating brilliant thing about this show, they love to make you wait. He just says something like, I think it's time we finished our conversation, don't you? Zolika's practically shaking. Lazarus steps in, obviously protective, asking who exactly this man thinks he is, showing up uninvited. And the visitor just smiles, this cold, calculated smile, and says he'll be back when they're ready to talk business. Then he just leaves. No explanation. Nothing. Can we talk about how this show loves doing this to us? Dropping a bomb and then just walking away like anyway, bye. I need answers. Zolika clearly knows exactly who he is and what he wants, and the fact that she's not telling Lazarus anything tells me this secret is big. Whatever's coming for the Ngukunas, it's connected to Zolika's past, and I have a feeling we are not ready for it. Scene 3, back at the hospital. Back to the hospital now, and thank goodness, because I was stressed. The doctors have managed to stabilize things, for now. Zethu's awake, weak, but awake, and Zolani is right there by her side, holding her hand so tight it's honestly kind of emotional to watch. He's telling her she needs to fight, that the baby needs her, that he needs her. And Zethu, this is the moment that got me, she looks at him and asks, straight up, whether the baby's okay. And there's this pause. This horrible, stretched out pause where Zolani doesn't answer right away. My heart legit dropped. Eventually he tells her the baby's stable, but it was close. Too close. Honestly, the title Too Soon is doing a lot of work here because it feels like everything in this storyline is happening too soon, too fast, too much all at once for this poor girl. Outside in the corridor, Sydney finally pulls himself together enough to talk to Helena, and this is where we get the truth about what Wandel told him. I'm going to paraphrase because you know I don't do full spoilers word for word, but basically, Wandel revealed that some of what happened to Zethu wasn't just bad luck or medical complications. There were people who knew something was wrong and stayed quiet. Sydney's convinced someone in their own circle let this happen, maybe even covered something up. Helena's reaction is priceless, by the way, she goes from confusion to fury in about 3 seconds flat. This woman does not play when it comes to her children, we've established that already this season, and you can see her brain already working out who she's going to go after first. Scene 4, Wandel's confession. Now we cut to Wandel, and this is honestly the heaviest scene of the whole episode for me. She's sitting alone, we can tell prison, or whatever she's been through recently, has changed her, she looks harder, more guarded than we're used to seeing her. And she starts recounting, through this kind of hazy flashback sequence, what she actually knew, and when she knew it. Without spoiling every single detail, essentially it comes out that Wandel had information about a health risk connected to Zethu weeks ago, and for reasons tied to her own resentment and jealousy toward the family, she sat on it. She didn't act. And now that Zethu almost died, the guilt is eating her alive, which is why she finally cracked and told Sydney the truth. Listen, I have complicated feelings about Wandel this season, because on one hand, prison clearly did a number on her mental state and I do feel for her, but on the other hand, girl, you knew something could hurt Zethu and you said nothing. That's rough. That's really rough. I need the writers to make her earn her redemption arc, because right now I am not fully there with her. Scene 5, the Mabandla household. We shift over to the Mabandla household, and there's a smaller but really tense scene between Halathi and Thumika. They're talking about the fallout from everything happening with Zethu, and Thumika is trying to hold the family together while clearly carrying her own unresolved grief in the background. You can feel it under every line she delivers, even when the scene isn't technically about her pain. Halathi, meanwhile, is dealing with his own frustration about feeling powerless. He wants to march down to the hospital and confront everyone involved, but Thumika talks him down, reminding him that right now the family needs calm heads, not more chaos. It's a quieter scene, but honestly a necessary breather after the intensity of the hospital and the Ngukona house. The show's pacing here is actually really smart, giving us a beat to catch our breath before it goes and ruins our peace again in the very next scene. Which, spoiler, it does. Scene 6, the confrontation. Okay, this is the scene everyone's going to be talking about tomorrow. Sydney marches back into the hospital, finds Lenja, and together they go to confront the one person they believe could have prevented all of this, and it's someone close to the family, someone we've trusted for a while now. I won't name drop who exactly because if you haven't caught this episode yet I don't want to fully spoil it, but let's just say it's someone who's been hovering around Zethu's storyline this whole season, and honestly, in hindsight, the clues were there. The show's been dropping breadcrumbs and I completely missed them. The confrontation itself is fire. Raised voices, accusations flying, Lenja basically going full mama bear mode, and the accused person trying to deny it, deflect, turn it back around on the family. Classic guilty person behavior, honestly. And just when it feels like it's about to turn physical, a doctor rushes out into the corridor with urgent news about Zethu. Everyone freezes. Dead silence. And the doctor says the words that end the episode, that something has changed, and they need the family to come now. Screen goes black. Credits roll. I actually gasped out loud in my room. My neighbors probably think I'm insane. My thoughts, reactions. Okay, so let me just process this with you for a second, because wow. This episode did not let up for one single second. Every time I thought we were getting a breather, it yanked the rug out from under me again. First of all, the Zolika mystery man storyline. I am obsessed with this. The way she completely shut down the second she saw his face tells me this isn't some random business dispute, this is personal, this is old, and I think it's going to connect back to whatever happened 20 years ago that the show has been hinting at all season. Remember that line from a few weeks back about a choice made decades ago haunting Zolika? I think this is it. I think this is the moment that thread finally starts unraveling, and if Lazarus finds out the truth before Zolika's ready to tell him, phew. That marriage might not survive it. Second, Wandel. Look, I said it already, but I want to say it again, I need her to actually do something to make up for this, not just cry about it and expect forgiveness. Prison humbled her, sure, but knowing about a risk to Zethu's health and staying silent out of jealousy. That's a different level of wrong. I'm curious whether the family is even going to be able to forgive her for this one, because Lenja does not strike me as the forgiving type when it comes to her children. Third, can we talk about how good Zethu's actress has been this whole arc? Like genuinely, the vulnerability in these hospital scenes hits different. You really feel like this young woman has been through an absolute ringer, and I'm just praying the writers let her and that baby actually catch a break at some point, because this poor character has not had one single moment of peace all season. And honestly, the confrontation scene at the end. I did not expect the show to reveal it was someone that close to the family. I was fully expecting some outside villain, some random enemy from the corporate war side of the story, and instead it's someone who's literally been in these people's homes, at their dinner tables. That betrayal hits so much harder. This character is honestly getting on my nerves now, because the more I think back on earlier episodes, the more I realize they were probably lying to everyone's face this whole time. Predictions for tomorrow. Okay, my predictions, because you know I always give you my hot takes before the next episode drops. Number 1, I think tomorrow we're going to get a major update on Zethu's condition, and I genuinely don't know which way it's going to go. Part of me thinks the show wants to put her and the baby through the ringer and pull them back from the edge for a big emotional payoff. But this show has also not been afraid to kill off characters we love, so honestly, I'm nervous. Keep the tissues nearby just in case. Number 2, I think we're finally about to learn who that mystery man at Zolika's door actually is. My theory. I think he's connected to Zolika's life before she became Zolika in Yukona, maybe someone from her past who knows a secret that could bring the entire empire crashing down. Possibly something to do with how she and Lazarus really got together, or something buried from way earlier in the family history. I don't think this is a random subplot, I think this is building towards something huge for the back half of the season. Number 3, that confrontation is not over. There is no way the show ends that argument with just a hospital interruption. Tomorrow, I expect that same person to either come clean fully, or dig their heels in and try to turn the family against each other even more to protect themselves. Watch out for Hlenja, especially when she gets going. She does not stop until she has answers. And honestly, a small prediction just for fun, I think Sydney and Hlenja's relationship, after going through all of this together, might actually come out stronger. Adversity has a way of doing that on this show, pulling people who've drifted apart back together. Could be wrong, but that's my gut feeling. OUTRO. Okay, that's the recap. That's everything that went down in today's episode of Inimba, and honestly, I need tomorrow's episode right now. I cannot wait a whole day for this. If you enjoyed this recap, please like this video. It genuinely helps the channel so much. Subscribe if you're new so you don't miss tomorrow's breakdown, and drop a comment below telling me, who do you think that mystery man is at Zolika's door? And do you think Zethu and the baby are going to be okay? I want to hear all your theories. I read every single comment. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being part of this little community we've built here, and I will see you right back here tomorrow for the next episode of Inimba. Until then, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye family. End of script.